Now it's getting really serious. Everything we did so far, you can just simply learn, look up 1,000 times. What we want to do now, or what we need to do now, is we need to understand the following topic. We need to understand which user sees which data in the system. We will do this in this small video. We will do it in an example later on in our case study, and I will give you a link under this video to a video series from Salesforce itself. And you won't hear me say that often, but this video series is genius. It's really brilliant. So have a look at it a few times, as long as you need to understand it, because this is really important for you as an admin. So we have different opportunities here to manage this access to data, and let's go on step by step. First of all, let's have a look at our profiles. This is now our demo profile we've created in our previous video, and you see here you can give users access to records. In this case, let's say an account. Now this user or this profile has read, create, edit, and delete access. You can also do it here and give a view all access on accounts, or a modify all access. So once you have it here with a view or modify, let's do it modify, the user with this profile is able to modify all accounts in your system. Same is here also for the other objects. Once you look up on your system permissions, you have also a view all data and a modify all data permission. Just try it on your own, click on this modify all data permission, and you see here all objects or all checkboxes here are getting blue at once. So just remember that we can give here no object access on our profiles itself. Now, of course, several users might have the access to accounts or opportunities, but in some cases you do not want users to see the data or modify the data of other users. For this we have so-called sharing settings. Just type in sharing settings and you will get to this page, and you see here now for lead, account, contact, and opportunity, everything's here set to private, and we have a checkbox checked here that's called grant access using hierarchies. What does this mean now? It means for the account object, for example, set to private, so the user itself will only see his data, and through this checkbox he will also see the data of everyone below in the role hierarchy. We will come to this role hierarchy in a few moments. Now let's have first a look at what's possible here. So let's go to the account and contact, and you see we have private here, public read only, public read write. For lead we have even so the opportunity to select public read write transfer. What does this mean? Private, as I said, you see your own data. Public read only means that all the data related to this object, accounts in this case, is visible for all users. Public read write means that users can also edit the accounts from other users. But there is also some special case. If or let's say two special cases. The one case is everything is set to private, but your user profile has a view all or modify all permission. Then in this case, the profile is, let's say, more worth than the auch sharing settings. So it means if this user has a view all data permission, he is able to view all accounts, no matter if this the sharing model is private. Let's do it the other way around and say we have on the account, for example, a public read-write transfer, and the user has no access to accounts in his profile, he won't be able to see any accounts. Or let's say he has only a read access, he will only be able to read the accounts, but won't be able to public read write. So remember, profile always comes first in this case. Let's change it back to private. So at this stage, we know we have the object access defined through the profile. We have the record access. So if I can see my data, or let's say all data, or modify the data from one record in our sharing settings. And there is one more case we can do, and that's on the field level itself. So let's go to some opportunity here. And you see here we have a lot of different fields. And let's take this ERP contract number on the opportunity, for example. See, I have an admin profile, which means I have the ability to see and modify all data. But once I go to this field here, this ERP contract number, let's jump into our object manager, then the fields and relationships, and our ERP contract number. We can set the field level security. This means I can make this field visible for specific profiles, or read only for specific profiles, or hide it. So let's hide it for me as an admin. Remember, I have the ability or the permission to view and modify all data. And now I made this not accessible or not visible for even the admin profile. Let's go back to our details. And you see now, not even me as an admin, not even I am able to see this field anymore. So we have the object access, we have the record access, so which user can see which records. We have also the ability of this field level access to see specific fields. And now let's focus on this role hierarchy. You remember, once we've created our users, we had of course the license, we had the profile, and we had the role. And now let's have a look at our roles. So remember, you need there a private data model, and check this grant access using hierarchies, because once you have it for some objects to public read write or whatever, the users can see the data anyway. So you see it here. I have the C level at the top. I have a global partner manager, inside sales global, manager Germany, Switzerland, and US, all on the same level. And here for the manager Germany, I have a partner and a sales VP below, both on the same level. And we have direct sales and inside sales. So let's pick this manager Germany. This manager Germany will see his data and the data of the partner manager, the sales VP, direct sales, and inside sales. The direct sales will just see his data and this one from the inside sales. The C-level, once we have a private data model and we're using hierarchies, C-level can see all the data of all the other roles below in this hierarchy. So, and of course, sometimes it's needed that, let's say, a manager from Germany perhaps might share data with a manager of Switzerland. They might have maybe some deals at the border, or there are some deals with a company where the part is in Switzerland, a part is in Germany. Or the global partner manager needs to share data with a partner manager in Germany, etc. And it's not possible with this hierarchy. One less sentence to the hierarchy itself. It's not an org chart. Really, it's not, even if it looks like this, it's really just a chart for data sharing. So it's more the accessibility of data. That's the level and not the org chart itself. Keep this in mind once you create this role hierarchy. So let's come back. What's happening if one, let's say, role needs to share data with another role? Therefore, we go back to our sharing settings. And here we have so-called sharing rules. See here we have sharing rules for objects, leads, accounts, opportunities, cases, and we have also user sharing rules. So let's say one role needs to share data with another role, one or all data with another role. One user needs to share with another user. That's what you can do here with the user sharing. So let's focus on our accounts, for example. And let's say the manager from Switzerland wants to share his data with the manager from Germany. Let's call this just remember, just for accounts in this case. And now we can select our rule type. Rule type is either based on record owner or based on criteria. For criteria, we could say, for example, there was territory equals Switzerland in our case, or we can do it based on the record owner. We can say we want just a role. So the account owned by the manager of Switzerland, or we can say by the manager of Switzerland and all his subordinates. Let's say it this way. And here it's the manager Switzerland. He wants to share it with the role of the manager Germany. But we want to have only read access, and the opportunity in cases will remain private. And that's how you create a sharing rule. As I said, you can create sharing rules for every object, for, let's say, lead, account, opportunity objects. You can create it based on users and roles. Let's go back here and edit. Or let's create a new one to show you, because it was a bit fast, I think. Let's create a new one. And here, remember this, you can share it with public groups, roles, and subordinate. And we have here something called manager groups and manager subordinate groups. That's the reason why, or the reason for this is because I've enabled the so-called manager groups here. So remember, once we've created our users, we have the ability there to put in a manager. And this brings us directly to the next thing. So we have here sharing rules, but it's for the users also possible to share their records manually. Therefore, we go back to our opportunity. And you see here we have one button called sharing. What I can do now is I can share it with also users, manager group or manager subordinates group, public groups, role and subordinates. Later on, we will also create an experience cloud or customer for customers in our case. Then you can see you can also share it with external users through your portal. But for the moment, this is fine. And let's share the opportunity. Let's say it's already shared with the sales VP of Germany. Let's remove this and let's say share it with a user. And the user is now Marcus Fox we've created, and we can now select if this user should only have read-only or read-write access. Let's call it read-write and save it. Once again, you see, you can also share it with other things. And if you want to know which people have access to your records, you can go to whatever object you have. In our case, it's the opportunity, and go to the page layout. And on your mobile and Lightning actions, you have something called sharing hierarchy. Let's move this here onto our page layout. Go back to our opportunity, refresh it, and see what impact this has. And I can click now here on sharing hierarchy, and you see now which users have access to this opportunity. And we've shared it here with Marcus Fox. And once you click on view, you can see why it's shared with the user. The reason for it was manual sharing, and the opportunity access is read-write. Let's go back and remove this user once and put in back this sales VP Germany. Oh, sorry, in this case, we need to share it with a role. And now it's a sales VP Germany. It's the same user, but just let me show you what happens once we go back to a sharing hierarchy now. You see, Marcus Fox is in there, but what happened now is it's shared with his role, and just because he's a role member, that's the reason why it has it. And now we have this read only here. So that's it for our object sharings. You have also the ability to share reports. So let's click on reports. But you can't share a report itself. You have to share a folder. So you see here, I have a few folders. Let's say Germany, Global, Switzerland, US. So let's have a look at our global folder, for example. You see here we have now 3 reports in it, and we want to share this global folder. It's now shared with me as a user with a role of C-level. Let's share it here with our other Marcus Fox user once again. He has now, let's say, edit access. You can give a view access to the folder, so you can just view the reports edit. So you can also edit the reports itself, and manage, so you can manage the whole folder and do the same thing we are doing now, is add users to it, or even rename it or delete it. So edit is okay, so share it. But what you have to keep in mind here, now this folder with these reports is shared with our user. And we have, for example, here a report. It's called All Ops by Stage this fiscal quarter. See, okay, not that much. The problem is we have a private sharing model. So if we share this now with our Marcus Fox user, he has sales VP Germany role and the profile sales, and the sharing model is private. You see here all opportunity owner are from the Force Fox itself, and no one is from Marcus. So Marcus won't see any data here because we have our private data model. So even if you, let's say, share this report, the user will just see what we have defined with our data model. Same here for dashboards. So it's the same here. Once we have two folders, one with here and one with two reports in here. It's the same. If you share this dashboard, you need to share the folder first. And what you have to do also, you have to share the folder with the relevant reports in it. Because if you only share the dashboard folders and the user doesn't have the access to the folder with the reports are stored in, won't see any data. And the same here, depending on your data model, he will just see the relevant data. The same is also relevant for your list views. So let's go back to our opportunities, and you see here we have, let's say, all opportunities, and you see here we have the opportunity owner, either ForceFox or MROP, and you see here the filter is to all opportunities. And let's say, for example, I will share this list view with this MROP user, and we have a private data model on opportunities. He will just see his data here. He won't see any of this ForceFox opportunities just because of the data model. So that's a small overview of how this works with the whole object and record access and which user can see which data. As I said, we will do an example here also in our case study later on, and I really recommend to watch this video series I post you here the link to, because this one is really brilliant. Thanks for your attention. See you.